Everything you need to charge a 12-volt battery comes in the box. Hello, my name is James Flores, and today we are going to unbox this device here. It is the Bateria Power 10A MPPT solar charge controller. So currently I have a little 12-volt battery set up in my garage, which I'm just tinkering around with. And I'm using just a PWM solar charge controller. It's very cheap. It's 30 amps though, but it can only handle SLA, AGM and gel batteries. It doesn't do lithium iron phosphate. In saying that, I only have two SLA batteries. They're 12 volts, 9 amp hours, but it's just a little test setup in my garage, which is currently just running a Raspberry Pi. This device is much more efficient than a PWM's solar charge controller. It's MPPT, and we are going to unbox it courtesy of Bateria Power. So thanks for sending this out to me. A quick spec teardown: max input voltage 30 volts, max PV power 150 watts. So you can't hook up a panel greater than 150 watts. Well, you can, but you risk damaging it, and it will only cap out at 150 watts. So we're going to unbox it. Woo. All right, there's the device. There we go, get into focus. We got two SAE connections. So much cleaner than using the PWM charge controller, because you have to put bare wires and use the screwdriver to pin the cables down. It's got quick connectors. You also get two extra connectors in the box, so you can make up your own plugs. So obviously this end goes into there, and then you can crimp your own plugs in there. It also comes with the polarity reverser, which I think I will need if they included it in the box. So what we're going to do next is swap out my old charge controller with this piece of awesomeness. So the instructions say we should connect the device to the battery first. So I've pre-prepared this earlier. Here's the SAE connection going to the batteries, one on each side of my batteries in parallel. And the right side here is battery, so we'll just hook that up like this. But I think we need to reverse the polarity, and they do provide this thing, which is polarity reverser. So as soon as I plug this in, the device should get power. And I am right, we get power. So the battery is 13.2 volts currently, and no power is going in, 0.0 amps. Battery's 100%, and it's already set to AGM. To change that, I think we just hold the button. Yep, so it says AGM's flashing, lithium iron phosphate, gel, AGM. So we just hold it to set that again. We just press once, I think we cycle through. That's the temperature of the controller, 39 degrees Celsius. Some error code thing, which I don't think I'll need. That's it, so it's pretty simple. And now we're going to hook up the solar panel end, which the cord is right over here. So I'm going to have to squeeze in here and plug it in. It's a pretty tight spot for me here. So I've plugged that in, and now I'm going to actually plug in the solar. There we go. Okay, I've plugged in solar. I'll try and zoom in a little bit so we can see what's going on here. Okay, I've zoomed in so you can see what's going on. We are getting about 1.5 amps, and it's flashing because it's charging. And yeah, that's the amperage coming directly from the solar panel outside. So yes, the reason why we would go an MPPT charge controller is because they're much more efficient and better in every way. So if you're going to get a charge controller, you may as well get a MPPT charge controller, because you're going to end up going to them eventually, and they can support lithium iron phosphate. These charge controllers, this one in particular, can't support it. It only supports the SLA AGM gel batteries. So far, so good, and I definitely like this much better than this controller. It looks cooler. We'll have a look at the solar panel. My bespoke solar panel setup. Go outside. It's going to be a bit bright. There we go. It's my IKEA chair that's been repurposed into my solar panel stand. There's one other thing I have to show you, and that is the app that you get if you get the Bluetooth version, which I strongly recommend you get because, well, my original charge controller, I got to keep looking at this screen. If I'm in the other room, I can't tell what's happening. With this thing, you have the Charge Pro app, just here, and it just connects over Bluetooth. Real-time monitoring, 100%. Solar inputs are currently receiving 15.5 volts. Status MPPT, and the battery specs currently receiving 2.78 amps. Voltage is 13.2 and 36 watts coming in from the solar panel, which is great for a 45 watt. And because I've been running it for a little bit, we've got a little bit of historical data. The highest voltage I've got is 14.5 volts. I was 13.2 volts. And so far I've charged it with 90 watt hours. The maximum charge it's ever received from the panel is 38 watts. So one thing I do have to mention is that battery state of charge is not very accurate if you currently have big loads attached to it. It will drop down, and as soon as you turn the load off, it will jump back up. And that's because these type of controllers just measure the voltage, so it's not completely accurate. Would I recommend getting the Bateria Power 10A MPPT solar charge controller? The answer is yes. And why is that? Because everything you need to charge a 12 volt battery comes in the box. With these SAE connectors, you also get 2 connectors with pigtails or bare wires, so you can make up your own plugs. It also comes with a polarity reverser. You know when you'll need one when it doesn't appear to work. And finally, it's an MPPT controller, so it's going to be much better than the PWM charge controllers. And this is portable, and I do recommend you get the Bluetooth version so you can check the status of this remotely. The price, I think it's about $59 US for the non-Bluetooth version and $79 for the Bluetooth version for obviously the 10 amp version. There's other versions of this. I'll leave links in the video description, and thank you to Bateria Power for sending this unit out for me to test.